Hey dudes, Mr. Rick here, being you the result of last week's Your Choice Wednesday, and you chose the right one. It was 1987's The Gate. What's that? You all excited? Yeah, I am too. I fucking loved rewatching this again. It's everyone's childhood favourite, and I've known a couple of people who are into horror in their 30s and 40s who still haven't seen this film. And I say to you, what the fuck, you like horror, you need to go and watch this film. This is a childhood favourite of everyone's. So it's really surprising when you find a horror fan who has not actually seen this film. But like I said, it's all one of our childhood favourites. We know the premise of the film. It stars Stephen Dwarf, who plays Glenn. And this film starts off of him having this nightmare about finding his home abandoned, and then going into his treehouse, only for it to be sort of struck by lightning and collapse. After awaking in the morning, he finds his backyard getting overtaken by workers who have cut down the same tree what was from his nightmare. And within this they've dug up, they find this sort of volcanic sort of liquid stuff called, I think it was called, what was it called, geode or something like that, I pronounce, geode. I think it's spelled Geode, geode, but I might be mispronouncing that, sorry. Anyway, not knowing what this is, Glenn returns with his older friend Terry, played by Louis Tripp, to investigate what's going on. Because the workers weren't able to fill in the hole left by the tree, Glenn and Terry breached the surface, finding a large, this geode stuff. Glenn manages to cut himself on it and leaves a small amount of blood behind. So while this is going on, Glenn's parents has been left alone with his 15-year-old sister called Al, and she's about to throw one of them parties of all parties with her friends. Glenn and Terry have managed to break inside of this rock, and after discovering it, it's left a strange writing on a notepad behind, and they read it out loud, not knowing what the consequences of this is from them doing that. So they go downstairs and get involved in the party, and all the Al's friends are doing this levitation game where we all used to play them sort of weird sort of levitation games. I remember doing it myself back in the day of having house parties. So everyone's shocked when Glenn starts to levitate, but I know this is something to do with what's going on with the hole. So what happens after that, you're going to have to find out yourself. I mean, you all know the premise of the film, and you know what goes on, and the crime, the craziness what goes on. So yeah, my thoughts on this. It's fucking awesome, this film, isn't it? Be honest, there's nothing you can say about it as bad. I mean, it has other premises. I mean, there's other sort of stories going on with Terry, played by Louis Tripp, and he's got a background to himself where he's lost a parent, and there's a little thing going on with the dog as well, Angus's dog, which you know what the scene I mean. So yeah, and so they find out basically, like I say, it's a gateway to some evil gods, a gate from this hole where all these sort of creatures and weird stuff start coming out. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you can't really knock this film because it's a childhood favourite of ours. It's not meant to be over complicated. It's an easy premise to follow for anyone to get into. Today's kids may not like it. I've not really showed it to anyone, anybody else these days who's not my age, sort of thing, and know the film. So it may be a bit dated to some of towards some of these sort of other crap what's coming out these days. You know, they just don't make films like this no more, which is a shame, because they were just great children horror films just like this. You know, Monster Squad, you had Gremlins as well. You know, they all just was in the same sort of and Ghoulies and things like that, all in the same sort of bucket, you like to call it. Like I said, that the creature effects are cool. It's all like sort of stop motion action with little bits and things like that. So yeah, like I said, and the acting is great. I mean, Stephen Dorff is a great little actor. We all know what he's gone on to do. I liked his friend Terry as well, played Louis Tripp. He never done really much more after the second film, which is, I mean, we've all seen The Gate 2. It doesn't have the cuteness or the quality and the love of the first one, which we all got, you know. But it's still a good film, and it is a bit weird, especially with all the second one deals with things turning into shit and things like that. So it was a little bit different. But nevertheless, this is, I mean, like, great acting, great effects as well. I mean, it's fairly, and you know, you don't have to overwatch this. You don't have to put too much into it. You know, it's a fairly small amount of cast involved. You know, it's just basically three of them together all the time, and that's all you need, really. So yeah, to find out what happens with the three kids and how they fight the demons off and what's happening, go and check it out. If you've seen it, which I know you have, tell me what you think underneath. I love this film. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5, obviously, because, you know, what else can you say? This film is just like one of them childhood favourites of mine. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I will catch you later for the next review. Later, dudes.